You're watching Bookmarks with Jason, and I'm here to give my review of Assassin's Apprentice, published in 1995 and written by Robin Hobb. It's the first book in a Farseer trilogy and the first novel in the 16-book Realm of the Elderling series. It tells the tale of a 6-year-old boy named Fitz, who's no longer wanted by his family. His maternal grandfather drops him off at an army base owned by the Farseer royal family. He then tells him that Fitz is the bastard son of Chivalry, who is next in line to become king. Taken by the guards, Fitz is soon brought to Prince Verity, who is the second son to King Shrewd. Prince Verity then passes Fitz off to Burrick, a stableman and right-hand man to Chivalry. Burrick takes him under his wing and trains Fitz to be a stable boy, but due to his bastard status, he's treated very poorly and left to live and sleep with the animals. We soon discover that Fitz has a telepathic power called the Wit that gives him telepathic communication over animals. He soon forms a strong bond with a dog named Nosy. Unfortunately, this power is frowned upon, and he is soon separated from his canine companion. From here, Fitz is passed off from one mentor to another, where he's eventually trained to be an assassin under the direct order of King Shrewd. And that's basically the type of life we see poor Fitz live throughout the story. He's scrutinized and unwanted wherever he goes, and any type of solace he finds is usually snatched away from him. And he just keeps taking L's left and right. He kind of reminds me of that lovable loser we're all familiar with. And to make things worse, the kid didn't even know his own name, probably because he never had one. They end up giving him the name Fitz, which we find out means illegitimate son, which is almost like a slur. No respect whatsoever. They could have just called him bastard and called it a day. You'll also notice that the majority of these characters have awkward names. Some readers might find the title Assassin's Apprentice misleading, mainly because this book is barely an assassin's tale. We don't see Fitz running around in the shadows doing stealth kills or anything like that. It's actually more of a political thriller told from the first-person perspective of Fitz, who gets caught up in the middle of the Farseer family's drama. And because his story chronicles his life from age 6 to about 15, his perspective is coming from the point of view of an unreliable narrator. And because of his young age and abnormal upbringing, his worldview might come off as a bit misguided. We are constantly seeing Fitz within his head, dealing with loneliness and having feelings of low self-worth. Most of this story deals with Fitz trying to find his identity and place in this world. Assassin's Apprentice, along with the whole Realm of the Elderling series, are some of the most highly praised and recommended books in fantasy, right up there with The Wheel of Time and the Kingkiller Chronicles. So of course I wanted to see if my experience lived up to that reputation. So does it? All I can say is not yet. And why is that? Well, this story was very much a slow burn, which I usually don't mind, but it came to a point where that slow burn really started to burn. This book consists of 24 chapters, and things didn't pick up for me until chapter 16. All the previous chapters comprise of coming-of-age, slice-of-life type of stuff, which as a Stephen King fan is something I'm very familiar with and usually embrace. Unfortunately, there wasn't much of a hook in those early chapters, and everything felt like a tedious slog, mainly because there wasn't much happening to keep me engaged. It also doesn't help that I found Fitz's character to be a bit bland during his childhood years. Fortunately, Robin Hobb's style of writing helps elevate the story despite these flaws. While there wasn't much in the way of world building, her ability to write about the nuances and political intrigue helped give the story a sense of realism. The use of magic was also more on the grounded side and did not feel over the top. The development of the characters was also handled extremely well, despite it coming from the unreliable point of view of Fitz. And when things finally did pick up, I was all in and flew through the remaining chapters. Fitz eventually gets assigned to his first assassination mission, and how things play out is really gripping. There is a villain in the story, and while despicable, felt more Cobra Kai Johnny than Darth Vader. There were some sad moments in this story that a lot of readers get choked up about, but to be honest, it really didn't hit me that hard. Maybe I'm just cold-hearted. Overall, I thought this book was pretty good, but it didn't hype me up enough to want to jump into volume 2 right away. I'm sure this book is just a small sample size of what this series has to offer. I give Assassin's Apprentice 3.5 bookmarks. So have you guys read Assassin's Apprentice? Does the series get better? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comments. And of course, as always, hit that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next page.